Congratulations on your purchase of a Top Fin Aquarium Starter Kit from PetSmart stores. You've made a good choice. This kit is designed to make setting up and owning an aquarium fun and easy. Aquariums provide hours of enjoyment and add color and interest to any room in your home or office. This video will take you step by step through the setup process. Soon your new aquarium will be up and running beautifully. We'll also give you some pointers on aquarium maintenance and fish care. First, let's see if you have everything you need to get started. Your kit should contain a glass aquarium, a full light hood, a power filter, a thermometer, heater, fish net, fish food, and water dechlorinator and bacteria additive, as well as this video. If any of these items are damaged or missing, simply return the kit to your nearest PetSmart store, and they'll exchange it. This kit does not contain gravel, plants, ornaments, or fish, because these are items you will want to pick yourself to suit your own taste. You should first decide where you want your new aquarium to go. A full aquarium with gravel and decorations weighs about 10 to 12 pounds per gallon. So you should find a level, sturdy, and safe location, preferably away from direct sunlight to avoid water temperature problems and excessive algae growth, and away from electrical equipment, such as TVs or stereos, because water and electronics just don't get along. For safety, larger aquariums, such as a 29 or 55-gallon unit, should only be placed on sturdy aquarium stands. These are designed to hold the weight of a large aquarium. An associate at your local PetSmart can help you with your selection. Before you set anything up, you should first take your aquarium outside and check it for leaks. If there is a leak, you want to find it now, not after your aquarium is set up. Siphon or dip the water back out when you've seen that everything looks good. Don't try and move your aquarium with water still in it. You may damage the aquarium or injure yourself. Now you're ready for your gravel. Wash your gravel thoroughly first, using lukewarm water. Slope the gravel from the front to the back. You should have about 1.5 inches in the front and 2 inches of gravel at the back. Next, you can put in your plastic plants or ornaments. Live plants should go in after the tank is filled. Now you're ready for your water. Place a saucer or bowl on top of the gravel and pour the water into this to prevent the water from spreading your plants and gravel everywhere. Fill up the tank 3/4 full. Next, open your water dechlorinator and pour the recommended dosage into your aquarium. This will neutralize any chlorine or heavy metals found in your tap water. These are harmful to your fish and plants. Now you can add any live plants or other ornaments. Be careful of the rocks you place in your aquarium. Rocks such as coral, seashells, or limestone will increase the pH and hardness of your water. PetSmart has safe rock decorations in a variety of shapes and colors. Fill the tank on up and add your heater and thermometer. Your heater and thermometer should be placed at opposite ends of each other for the most accurate temperature reading. Also, after you've installed your heater, let it sit for about 15 minutes before you plug it in to avoid breakage. You should never plug your heater in while it's out of the water. It will heat up quickly and shatter the glass housing. Now, you should put on your full light hood. You should see several blocks like this on the back side of the hood. Break out 1 or 2 of the large blocks. This will allow the heater and power filter to stick through the hood. Don't remove any more than you need to. You don't want any open spaces that your fish can jump out of. Now, simply place your light on top. You shouldn't plug anything in yet, though. Next, you want to consider a background for your tank. A background blocks unsightly wires and hoses from being seen and gives you a better view of your fish and plants. You can buy a printed background from PetSmart. Choose a scene with colors that match your room, your fish, or your personality. Have fun. Now you are ready to assemble your power filter. First, check to see that the impeller is properly seated in the filter housing. The impeller blades should be facing up like this. Now slip this long intake tube onto the intake housing. and the intake strainer onto the end like this. Now set these items aside and locate your filter cartridge. The filter cartridge is the heart of your power filter. It performs three important filtering functions: mechanical filtration by trapping heavy debris, chemical filtration by absorbing harmful chemicals, toxins, and odors, and biological filtration by detoxifying harmful ammonia and nitrite. You can even further improve the filtering effects of this cartridge by opening the top of the cartridge and pouring in additional top fin activated carbon. Next, rinse the cartridge under cool water to remove any carbon dust. Now simply slide the cartridge into the V-shaped grooves of the filter housing. Hang the power filter on the back of your aquarium like this, and slip the intake housing you assembled earlier down into the filter housing. Press down gently to be sure the intake housing is seated securely into the filter housing. Your power filter must be primed before it will work. To do this, simply fill the filter chamber with water until it begins overflowing into your aquarium. Now place the lid on your power filter. Set the adjustable flow valve to high and plug in the filter. Water should start flowing from the filter housing within a few seconds. Now you can adjust the water flow to your desired setting using the flow valve. The filter cartridge should be cleaned or replaced every month or so. When the cartridge gets dirty or clogged, water will begin flowing from this area around the intake tube. Simply pick up a new cartridge from PetSmart, rinse it, and slip it into the filter housing. You should now let your aquarium stand with the filter running and the heater on for at least 7 days before you add any fish. It's also helpful to add 1 tablespoon of aquarium salt for every 5 gallons of water you put into the aquarium. This adds electrolytes to the water, which will help keep your fish healthy. Letting the water filter for a week will give the water a chance to begin cycling through the nitrogen cycle and come to the proper temperature. Enclosed in your kit is a sample of a bacteria additive from PetSmart that will speed up this process dramatically. You should adjust the thermostat on your heater to the point that the heater light just comes on. Leave it here for a while, then check your thermometer. Keep increasing the thermostat slightly until the aquarium reaches the appropriate temperature, which is 78 degrees for warm water tropical fish and 74 degrees for cold water tropical fish, such as goldfish. The 29 and 55-gallon aquarium kits are equipped with submersible heaters. Simply set the adjustable thermostat to the desired temperature. Let it sit for about 10 hours. Then check your thermometer. You may need to adjust the thermostat again slightly to attain the proper water temperature. Now you're ready for the most critical phase of setting up and maintaining an aquarium, cycling your aquarium. When your tank is newly set up, the helpful bacteria have not yet colonized in your filter system, and the filter is not yet ready to handle a load of ammonia and nitrite. This is where a lot of fish die unnecessary deaths. Cycling your aquarium means slowly bringing it up to full speed. You have to buy your fish a few at a time until you reach the maximum capacity of your aquarium. This takes about 35 days. Again, adding a bacteria additive to your aquarium speeds up this process. The rule for stocking an aquarium is 1 inch of fish per gallon of water. In this calculation, you don't include the tail of the fish. For example, a 10-gallon aquarium will hold 10 inches of fish, and a 20-gallon aquarium will hold 20 inches of fish. Be sure to calculate the length your fish will reach when they're full grown if you buy young fish. We would start by adding 4 durable fish to the aquarium. Then we would check the ammonia and nitrite levels every 4 days. The ammonia level will peak and drop before the nitrite level peaks and drops. When both levels have dropped to 0, it is now safe to add a few more fish. We test the water again every 4 days until both levels reach 0 again. Now we can add a few more fish. So we calculated the maximum amount of fish our aquarium could hold. We decided what types of fish we wanted to keep, then added them a few at a time, starting with the most durable type until we reached our maximum. You should never overstock your aquarium. A filter system can only process so much waste, and when it reaches its maximum load, it can't keep the water pure enough for fish to live in. This whole process takes a little time, but be patient. Your fish will appreciate it. When bringing new fish home, you should float the bag in your aquarium for 15 minutes to let the new fish adjust to the temperature of the aquarium water. Open the bag and let a little of the aquarium water into it. Retie it and let it sit for another 10 minutes. Now your fish are acclimated to the aquarium water and are ready to go in. When buying your fish, only buy fish that are compatible with one another. Large fish will generally eat small fish. Your fish should all be able to live in the same pH and temperature range, so check with the experts at PetSmart and the species section of this video to be sure the fish you are buying can live comfortably together. Also, it's a good idea to keep a mixture of top feeders, middle water feeders, and bottom feeders in your aquarium. This helps keep your aquarium balanced and helps ensure all the fish food is eaten rather than left to accumulate in your aquarium. Let's take a look at some of the fish and plants you might consider keeping in your aquarium. Guppies are possibly the most popular of all the tropical fish. They are peaceful, friendly, and easy to keep. Swordtails get their name from the extended tail fin found on the adult males. You should keep a couple of females and only one male per tank to avoid fighting. The betta, or fighting fish, makes a beautiful addition to a community aquarium, but the males will fight viciously. Two males should never be kept in the same aquarium. Mollies are similar to platies and swordtails, but prefer brackish or slightly salty water. Mollies are best kept in schools. Barbs are active schooling fish suitable for the community aquarium. Ideally, these fish should be kept in schools of 4 or more to reduce aggressiveness and fin nipping. Tetras come in a variety of shapes and colors and make an excellent addition to a community aquarium. Danios are quick, active fish that should be kept in schools of 4 or more. Gouramis are large, peaceful fish and are an interesting addition to a community aquarium. There are several species of catfish available. Some are suitable for the community aquarium, but some will grow very large and should be kept in larger tanks. Cichlids are generally large and aggressive fish that should not be kept in a community aquarium, even when they are small. These fish grow quickly and should be kept with other cichlids in a larger aquarium. Koi are colorful relatives of the common carp. These fish grow quickly and should only be kept in an aquarium when they are very small. Later, they should be moved to an outdoor pond where they will reach lengths of 2 or 3 feet. Goldfish are a very popular cold water freshwater fish. These fish are friendly and active, and certain species can grow to 10 or 12 inches if kept in an outdoor garden pond. Goldfish should not be kept in a heated aquarium with warm water tropical fish. Here are some other interesting fish and amphibians you may consider keeping in your aquarium. You may want to keep 1 or 2 Plecostomus in your aquarium. These hardy fish are fun to watch, and plecos do an excellent job of keeping the aquarium free of algae. With a properly operating filter, live aquatic plants aren't necessary for a healthy aquarium and may be frustrating for beginning aquarists. But for those more adventurous, they will add another dimension of interest. Live plants are also beneficial to certain types of fish, and if kept healthy, will aid in the nitrate cycle. Live plants tend to grow better under fluorescent lighting. Here are some plants you may consider. Take a second and imagine yourself in your environment. It's nearly endless. Plenty of oxygen, plenty of food, and it's fairly clean. Now imagine yourself confined to the room you're in right now. There's no more oxygen coming in, no one's bringing in any food, and there's not a formal restroom. After a few days, your living conditions would become pretty unbearable. Your fish rely on you to provide them with a healthy environment. Keeping fish in an aquarium isn't cruel unless the conditions are bad. Naturally, you don't want to keep a very large fish in a small aquarium. But for the most part, fish are fairly territorial and don't need a lot of space to be happy. Imagine yourself confined to your room again, but this time with a good flow of oxygen coming in and someone preparing your meals for you and a cleaning service coming in and removing any trash or waste. Your fish will be quite happy in their aquarium under similar conditions. A quality filter system bringing in plenty of oxygen and cleaning out all of the waste, and a healthy meal 2 or 3 times a day. You shouldn't feed your fish more than they can eat in 2 or 3 minutes per meal. You should also vary their diet with other types of foods. For example, some foods will help bring out the colors in your fish. Others contain more vitamins for better health and growth. Make sure all the fish are getting their share. If you have catfish, plecos, or algae eaters, you should feed them food that sinks to the bottom, or feed them just before you turn the lights out. The other fish won't see the food, and it'll go straight to the bottom feeders where they will smell or feel for it. Contrary to what some people believe, bottom feeders do not eat the waste on the bottom of an aquarium. This must be removed with a siphon hose. Uneaten food, fish waste, and decomposing plants and organic matter all make up toxic substances such as ammonia and nitrite that are deadly to your fish. These substances have to be removed from the aquarium water with filters. A quality filtering system should filter 3 ways. Mechanically, which means it should trap substances suspended in the water, usually with a fiber filter cartridge, as in your system. It should filter chemically, which means it should remove polluting and discoloring chemicals and odors. This is easily accomplished with the activated carbon in your filter cartridge. Thirdly, your filter should function as a biological filter. Basically, a biological filter is a place for helpful nitrifying bacteria to breed. Nitrifying bacteria convert deadly ammonia into nitrite, which is still very toxic to your fish. More helpful bacteria convert this harmful nitrite into relatively safe nitrate, which your fish can tolerate unless the level gets really high. The gravel bed in your aquarium and your filter cartridge both provide an ideal home for the beneficial bacteria. Even a quality filter, though, can't remove all the wastes and toxins that build up in your aquarium. You must remove buildup from your gravel regularly and change 20% of your aquarium's water at least once every month. This can be easily done with a siphon hose similar to this. Now that we know the basics of how to keep our water clean, let's go over some other equally important tips. pH is a measurement of how acidic or alkaline your water is. A pH of 7 is considered neutral, with lower than 7 being acidic and higher than 7 being alkaline. Keep in mind, though, that a reading of 5 is actually 10 times more acidic than 6, and 6 is 10 times more acidic than 7. So, with each number the pH level increases or decreases, the intensity of the reading changes by 10. Most tropical fish are relatively happy with a pH of 6 to 8, depending on the species. Water any higher or lower than this becomes very stressful to them. You can buy a pH test kit at PetSmart, or if you bring in a sample, we will test your water free. If you choose to buy your own test kit, though, they're relatively simple to use. Most kits contain a test vial, a supply of test indicators, and explicit instructions. Simply fill the vial to the pre-marked level and add the indicator. In a few minutes or seconds, you'll be able to compare your results to a color chart. Kits are available to test several conditions, including pH, nitrite, ammonia, and nitrate. The next thing you should consider is water temperature. Most tropical fish prefer a temperature of 78 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. A constant water temperature can be accomplished with an aquarium heater. Cold water fish, such as goldfish, can live in much colder water and don't require a heater. Your fish will only survive if all of these conditions are right and constant. Any sudden changes in water quality or temperature can be very harmful to them. For this reason, you should change only 20% of your aquarium water at a time. But you must change it at least once a month. It only takes a few minutes. When doing partial water changes, always adjust the temperature of the tap water to match your aquarium. Check it with a thermometer. You'll also want to treat your tap water with a water conditioner. This will neutralize any chlorine or copper found in your water system. You can use the old water from your aquarium to water your household plants. It makes a great fertilizer. Adding water that has evaporated from your aquarium is not considered a water change because only the water evaporates. Harmful minerals and chemicals are left in the aquarium and will build up to high levels if the water isn't changed regularly. There is a natural tendency for the pH in your aquarium to drop slowly over time, but regular partial water changes should prevent your pH from dropping out of the safe range. Remember to treat your tap water with a water conditioner. Let's take a look at some commonly used filtering systems that will perform all three necessary filtering functions: mechanical, chemical, and biological. You may want to experiment with some of these in the future. The first one is an under-gravel filter. It's relatively inexpensive and does a good job. An air pump pushes air up through one or more lift tubes, causing the water to circulate through the gravel. The gravel acts as a mechanical filter, trapping floating debris. It also acts as a biological filter. The helpful nitrifying bacteria live in the gravel bed, where they convert the harmful ammonia and nitrite into nitrate as the water passes through. A carbon cartridge at the top of the lift tube acts as a chemical filter. The gravel needs to be cleaned regularly or it will clog and the filter won't be as effective. When you clean your gravel, only vacuum the top half of the gravel so you don't destroy the beneficial bacteria in the filter bed. Another version of the undergravel filter involves replacing the carbon cartridges with power heads. A power head is an electrical pump that pulls the water up through the tubes. This system provides better circulation and usually comes with an adjustable flow rate and adjustable aeration. If you install only one power head on an undergravel filter that has two uplift tubes, you must block off one of the uplift tubes in order for the filter to work properly. This next type of filter system produces very good results, and it generally runs very quietly, making it a good choice for aquariums placed in bedrooms. This power filter consists of a box that hangs on the outside of the aquarium. A pump pulls water into the unit where it passes through a replaceable cartridge. This cartridge performs all three functions: mechanical, chemical, and biological filtration. Simply replace the cartridge when it gets dirty. This filter needs to be primed when first started up by filling the filter chamber with water. Eventually, the pump will take over and begin pulling water from the aquarium. Your aquarium should also have a full hood with a light fixture. The hood will keep adventurous fish from jumping out and will also protect your fish from predators. Now you should have a good understanding of how to set up and maintain a healthy freshwater aquarium. Later, you may want to buy a larger or additional aquariums and keep other species of fish and plants. Your friends at PetSmart can provide you with help and ideas, as well as show you the latest systems. For now, though, remember to check your pH, nitrite, ammonia levels, and water temperature regularly. If the pH has dropped significantly, check the aquarium for dead plants or fish, or an accumulation of debris. These can all lower the pH. With regular 20% water changes and a properly operating heater and filter system, these conditions should stay within the safe range. If your nitrite or ammonia levels are high, you have either overstocked your tank or may have a filter problem. Check these. With all of this in mind, you should be able to keep a healthy, beautiful aquarium that everyone will enjoy. If you have any questions or are in doubt, be sure to contact an associate at your local PetSmart.